G'day, Who's Playing Who fans, and welcome to Ruben's Rant number 3, where Ruben Norris gives us his thoughts on a variety of topics, mainly to do with the NRL. And here again for this third installment of this highly successful YouTube series, it's Ruben.
Thanks, Adrian. Yep, good to be back on another rant. I've got a few things to talk about. Firstly, the eight-point try decision in the Bulldogs Rabbitos game in the weekend. Been a bit of contention about it. For me, on my understanding of the rules so far, is that it's a fair enough decision. Sam Burgess, to me, deliberately put his foot where Parrott was placing the ball for a try, which, I don't know the technical definitions of the law, but that's what I believed it was meant to prevent, was players leading with their knees and feet to try and stop a try. It probably looks worse in slow motion than it does in real time. Real time would suggest that he tripped over Parrott on his way through, but you can see he has moved his foot into a specific place to stop the try. So I'm happy with the decision. You can look at the game being a preliminary final. Is it a little bit soft? Yes, it might be to the law, but is it a bit soft for the type of game? If it was the deciding decision in say the grand final, then I would probably be a bit angrier if it had been given. But in the circumstances, I think it's right. Also in that game, I think we saw something interesting. Bulldogs teammates obviously ganged up against Ben Barber and weren't going to let him score a try. Pritchard ran directly in front of him to stop him scoring a try, and then Reynolds didn't give a pass which should have been given, which would have led to a try as well. So obviously some inter-team battling going on there. But in that game, I think Greg Eastwood stood out as quite an influential player. He set up 2 tries in the second half and scored one himself. So I actually think he could be quite a pivotal player in the grand final, which he may not have been seen as such a threat beforehand. And also in that game, I think that the stat was 7 of the 8 tries were scored by Kiwis. So if only we could do that in a real game against the Aussies. Last point is, well, yesterday time at recording of this, Tim Sheens was basically released as coach of the Tigers, which I think is a bit disappointing for their club. I think there must have been some in-house disagreements, if you want to call it that, between players and coach. You sort of heard rumours of things during the season, but I think it's a bit disappointing. Tigers sort of being in a similar position to the Warriors, where they were sort of named as one of the premiership favourites for this year and really didn't perform. I'm not sure if it's entirely coach's fault. I think players need to take a lot of responsibility for how they played. It's not a great result for the Tigers club, but it leaves an interesting opening for them at the Warriors, which, as Warriors fan, I think I would quite happily have a man like Tim Sheens, who will not stand for underperforming players, and that's what we need at the club, is a bit of hardening up of our players. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And those are my thoughts.
Beautiful. Thank you again, Ruben. And if you agree or disagree with anything he had to say, you can find the article on our website, whosplayingwho.net, and leave a comment. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/whosplayingwho. You can tweet us at whosplayingwho or email us whosplayingwho@gmail.com. We'll be back with the regular podcast in a couple of months' time, but you never know, Ruben might rant a little bit between now and then.